Hey, know-it-all listeners, what's happening? It's your boy Tate here with another episode of the Know-it-alls. We're gonna be brief today. We're just trying to give you a little more content, trying to beef things up a little bit with football season coming, Olympics great happening, so much stuff going on. We felt like we need to have a few more touch points and get with you a little more than once a week. So be looking forward to just another show dropping, a brief show dropping sometime during the week as we move forward. But today I'm gonna give you the Tate quick take. We're gonna talk about the NBA Finals wrapped up Tuesday night, a couple nights ago, with the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis winning the championship. So my question is, or my take is, does this championship that Giannis got make him among one of the all-time greats? And first, before we discuss that briefly, we're going to talk about how Giannis did it. Giannis did it a lot different than a lot of these recent NBA stars and super teams these guys have been putting together over the years. Giannis was drafted by Milwaukee in 2013, an 18-year-old kid from Greece, originally from Nigeria, but he came from Greece. He lived in Greece during a lot of his formative years. And he was, I think, like the 13th or 16th pick. So he wasn't like a top 5, top 10 pick. But Milwaukee saw potential in him. He had a couple different coaches. Jason Kidd was one of his early coaches that kind of challenged Giannis to handle the ball and be more of an all-around player and stuff. And over the years, Giannis put on a lot of weight, got a lot stronger. And the previous 2 years before this year, he won 2 MVPs. He was the leading vote getter for the All-Star game last year. So he was a team captain in the All-Star game. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year award. Like I said, 2 MVPs, and he just won a Finals MVP. So, but as far as the team building and roster construction goes, like I said, Giannis and Chris Middleton were there from the very beginning. They've been together 8 years. Chris Middleton was actually a G League, a second-round pick and a G League player. So, he kind of took his lumps and worked his way up to where he's at now. And I think this was his second year being an All-Star this past year. And, they got a lot of character core pieces. They got a lot of players that kind of fit the identity of a Midwestern city like Milwaukee. Blue collar, lunch pail, hard hat. Let's go in here and get it done. And frankly, I think they just kind of outworked Phoenix. And I'm not saying Phoenix is a super team, but they outworked Brooklyn with Kevin Durant and James Harden and Kyrie Irving. Not all three at the same time, but 2 of the 3 the whole time. So, they kind of just outworked those guys. But so the question is, as far as this goes, does this championship that Giannis just helped win, actually, quite frankly, led Milwaukee to, with a lot of help from those blue collar hard head guys. But is this a bigger championship, a more meaningful championship than the championships that some of these other teams have gotten over the years, like the Golden States that had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, team full of all-stars. Couple superstars. We talk about your Miami Heat with the Heatles, LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh. I don't think the Lakers last year were so much a super team, but LeBron and Anthony Davis, AD, are 2 of the top 5 players in the world. So I'd argue that this championship is more meaningful and probably only rivaled by, but maybe more meaningful than the championship LeBron James. And LeBron James is my favorite. You can look around me and see my favorite player. But this championship may be more meaningful than the one LeBron brought to Cleveland. Because LeBron, was drafted by Cleveland early on in 2003, but he left in 2010 to go to Miami. And he kind of learned the blueprint to championship, roster making and how to be a leader and all those things. And Giannis did it right there on the job in Milwaukee. LeBron came back and came to Kyrie Irving. They traded for Kevin Love, who at the time was an all-star. Yeah, he's washed now, but When we go back to 2014, when LeBron came back, Kevin Love was just in Minnesota averaging like 26 and 14 a game. So LeBron came back to a really, really nice team. And like I said, Giannis built it all himself. So you can say this championship is more meaningful. So does this make Giannis one of the all-time greats? He's one of only 3 players with a Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, and a championship in the same season, along with these guys, Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. And we know we think of MJ. MJ is the GOAT. LeBron's resume is still TBD, to be determined. But Giannis, hey, he added to his resume. Giannis has done it quicker than Jordan and LeBron did. Giannis is only 26. And like I said, he has 2 league MVPs. He has a Defensive Player of the Year award, and he has a Finals MVP and a championship, all at the age of 26. And Milwaukee could be on their way to being a lightweight dynasty, because what happens when these young players win championships like this on good teams like Milwaukee has, you get a lot of older players that are really good players. They kind of want to latch on to that and try and win a championship in their twilight years. So we could be looking at some people going to Milwaukee over the next year or two, some really good players to strengthen their bench, their overall team. That could be a big boost to them, what Milwaukee already did, and they're already the champs. So I don't know. Right now, like I said, it's still TBD. Jordan is the GOAT. I got LeBron number 2. But Giannis is probably on his way. If he wins another 1 or 2 championships in the next 3 years, another MVP or something, he's right up there, top 10 all time. So we'll see how that plays out. But I just wanted to come on, real briefly and just touch on the finals and stuff. We'll be back at you live this Sunday at 5 p.m., where our guest will be Ray Jackson from the Michigan Fab Five, that group of freshmen back in 1991 that went to the Final Four, and they've done so much just for sports and culture. We'll be talking to them. Anthony Floyd, formerly an All-American safety at the University of Louisville and played for the Indianapolis Colts. We'll talk with those guys about their college careers and the recent collegiate change in college athletics with the NIL, name, image, likeness, where collegiate athletes can get paid. Bryce Young, the quarterback from Alabama, I think all this stuff just started July 1st. This kid has never started a game for Alabama, and he's already made $1 million in endorsement in the last 3 weeks. I mean, it's kind of, I said at the time when we initially talked about it, when KJ Adams was on our show, that, it's going to be chaotic at first. And I think it's chaotic right now. We talk about $1 million in 3 weeks. I think some kind of regulations will have to be put on it, and stipulations and things like that. But we don't know about those things yet. But I tell you what, we'll get into it with these great collegiate athletes and ex-professional players this Sunday at 5 o'clock on the Know It All podcast. Be sure to join us. Thank you for watching right now. Be sure to subscribe and like the page. And hey, I'm out.